Hello and welcome back to Topdeckers. I'm Bubbles and today I've got a little bit of a deck tech for you. I mostly just wanted to show off this deck I've been playing. It's hand dump Jaggro. You essentially just try and dump your hand as quickly as possible and end the game really quite quickly. We're using cards like USACE as well as Unity as Strength to try and do just a lot of damage really quickly. Especially if you can get it on these bicycle boys, you can do a lot of damage super quickly. You are weak to removal and you're weak to a lot of things, quite frankly. However, it's a really enjoyable deck, and we can now use more orders and sort of spread our wings a little bit, since Feigned Retreat is no longer the sort of Jaggro style available since Feigned has been rotated. So we can now, play around with having a whole bunch of orders and seeing how it works into this Jaggro list. Just to know, I am also doing my monthly field marshal grind alongside recording this, so you may see my rank fluctuate a little bit as I do the recording. You may see me go up and down a fair bit. Hopefully it's mostly up, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so we're up against the Soviets. I don't think we're going to keep the USACE since we don't have any real one-drops to put them on at the moment. I don't think we're going to keep the half-track either for now. It is quite good against guards, so maybe there is value to holding on to it, but with the Shenano and the Signal, I'm worried that it's going to be a bit slow. You know what, we'll hold on to it. It's good against self-damage as well. Opponent leads with the Engineers. I think we're just going to... Oh, do we respond with the Signal, or do we put down... I don't want to put down the Yokosuka just because of Bloody Sickle. It answers us so effectively. I think I'll put down the Signal, and then that gives me the option of going Yokosuka and Expansion next turn. And I'm not necessarily forced into playing the 33rd Recon. Okay, yeah, I'd like to take the front line before they can. I think we're just going to double push the front line. Maybe I should have done the 33rd Recon instead of the second unit to the front line to make us less weak to a winter warfare. United we stand. That's not too bad. We're okay with the bonus credit as well. We've got things we can do with it. Raiding Brigade is a really nice find. I think we're actually going to use that to take out the Engineers. We can hit the Branks and kill them over time. I think the healing is far more intimidating than the guard is at the moment. Now, luckily for us, we have a half track, so we can actually just take that right back again. Thank you. I'll have that. Let's just continue to beat down the Brinks regulars. And we've got a lot of burst damage in our hand with the 99th and the Unity. That's quite unfortunate. However, Shenano is looking very good soon. I think we're just going to go for the Shenano this turn. Nice. Kills the Brinks regulars. That's quite nice. Would have been nice to have it do a little bit more damage to the 39th, but the burn damage to HQ is more than acceptable, doing 5 damage. Yeah, I guess it's time we go for the... oh, there's a second Unity. Go for the Unity. I don't think we're going to go for the second one. Ooh. I should have played my Unity first, however... we will still take that. It's a slight misplay trading before playing the second Unity. Would have been an extra 2 damage, putting them down to 1, meaning killing anything would have killed them. But there you go. First game, very quick. GG. Okay, up against the British this time. Could be credit denial. Once again, we're gonna... Oh, we're going first, so we could potentially keep the USAC, look for a 1-drop and try and do something very quick. I think that's what we're gonna do. Okay, that's it's unfortunate. We have a lot of 1-drops in the deck, so I was really thinking, we'd find one. We'd definitely find one, but We're up against mobilize as well. Okay, there you go. There's Yokosuka. We can go for the expansion. And let's make sure this guy's safe. Let's give him some stats. And then we can go for the half track soon to reset the mobilize counter on the first airborne. Desert rats. Okay. Well, that's okay. Ooh. Yeah, I think we're going to take the draw. If they wake this up and go for the trade, it dies anyway. And actually, let's just 99th and continue to keep this guy completely safe. He's a 5-4 now, so it's going to be quite difficult for them to do anything about that. This bombing raid is starting to look really nice. If they spread out too much here, it could just completely swamp them. Okay. I think we're going to take the half-track route. And then I think we'll push up that for the extra damage this turn. It does make us slightly weaker to a supply shortage. However, I think we're okay with that. I think we take those risks. Now they deploy a 2-pounder. I think comfortable bombing raiding for that. It means I don't have to trade away the half track or the 15th. And we're just applying so much pressure here. Churchill is really quite bad for us. We're just going to deploy these. Our half tracks not helping against the church here. That's actually terrible for us. We need like a unity or something that's just okay. This is getting worse and worse as time goes. I mean, we can bounce this, but it's going to buff the church here when we clear space to move up. We when we move up to clear space to bounce this, but we don't have too much choice, so let's just bite the bullet and go for it. And we're just going to push everything to the front line. And yeah, this is starting to look interesting. Not completely sure. I mean, a unity would completely demolish this game. Unity is strength. However, Churchills were not taken into account when constructing this deck. Oh, protecting the HQ of everything. Okay, well, let's kill this. And then we'll pass the turn. However, this front line is going to start getting decimated, and I don't see us winning this one. Okay. And we've got Sendai in the deck. Actually not too bad of a find, the KI-83. But I feel like I do need to clog the front line as much as possible to prevent this Churchill being pushed up and reaching the KI-83. Convoy. Daylight bombing. Or precision bombing, sorry. I mean, if we find Sendai, this game's still... Okay, Audacity. Is this when it survives combat? So if I hit this for 1, I'm pretty sure that counts as surviving combat. Suppose I should have hit with this first, drawn a card. That's not useful at all. And yeah, attacking this would have just given it bonus attack, because we do 1 damage and then it gets +1/+1. It doesn't really achieve anything. And let's see if they... Yeah, they left the Japanese one alive, which I think is the wrong way of doing it, because that means we can draw if we find the ooh, Shinano. That means we can clear some of those, but unfortunately no. Yeah, this Churchill just did so much work. Okay, up against Japan, we're not too bad in the mirror. I think we're going to put back the naval and the signal, because they don't really fit into our curve so well. And then I think we're just going to pass. I don't want to commit the USAC with something that could die to a 15th Cavalry. Okay, now we're looking good. Oh, look at the damage coming in. Bring them down to 12. What have you got for that? What have you got for the big bicycle? Oh, could this be a turn 3 win? Oh, turn 3 victory. That was quick. Is that an American or a that's Japanese? I thought that was an American card back, or maybe it's just like one of the universal ones. Okay, we don't have as quick of a hand, so I think we're going to hold on to the signal this time. And then the Audacity and the Dina are both quite high value, but maybe we fish for 2. No, I think we're going to just play really slow, because we don't have that many good 2-drops in the deck anyway, so I think we're okay just having a bad turn 2, and then just starting to really curve out into this sort of turn 3. So they've got info on the Audacity. It's quite nice, the recon here into their recon. It means when this dies, we're going to get an additional draw trigger from this. It's just a really, really sweet. Oh, I think I go for the Audacity. I believe the Aichi does take the 1 damage, but I just want to guarantee the draw on the recon as well as getting this bomber down. I'm sure if they have like Shinano or Tora, we could get punished, but we at least then get to draw from the recon, and we don't get punished too hard because we have the signal. Plan West. Okay, up against the Legions then. Japan Legions. I think we just push both of these, and I think we're actually going to USAC this to avoid them getting this value trade, as well as meaning any AoE is just going to give us additional draw triggers on the recon. Raiding Brigade coming out. Okay, it's not the end of the world. I think I'm going to go for the Dina, and then just go for the trade. I'm not going to worry about the 2 damage to face right now. I'd rather just generate more value out of the Dina. Maybe important to not overcommit on the board. Oh, nice. It's a beautiful bombing raid just there. And then I think we push up a bicycle and we try and play around this naval supply run next turn. But yeah, I don't want to get blown out too hard by an uprising. So we do need to be slightly cautious for that. Yeah, that's okay. We've gotten a lot of draw out of this recon. I think we're okay with that. And we'll just put down an Aichi, move up a bicycle. Probably should have drawn first. Always draw middle. That's the... I think we're just going to tap and pass. I don't want to get blown out by AoE. I think we hold on to these cavalries. We already have such a strong turn next go. With naval supply run, double USAC on the bicycle. We've got half tracks for any guards that come down. Obviously, if it's lots of legions, that could be more annoying, but we can just trade into them with the Aichi and Dina. Underground state. Okay. I think we're just going to go for the Then we'll go half track, naval supply run. And then I'll hit face for 3 instead of 5 and just make sure this is smoke screened. I suppose that didn't matter too much actually. We probably should have just gotten the extra damage and hit with the Aichi instead. Recon, that's okay. That's what we discard here. Okay, so we hit face for 2. Put down this. Buff. 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 And then that's what? Let's see. If I play naval. No, we're better off operating everything, right? Yeah, there you go. We've got lethal with the operations. Nice. Look at that burst damage. Okay, up against the Soviets again. Which can be slightly scary. I think we're going to hold on to the K-83 and I think we'll ship back the half tracks. Yokosuka is okay, but it's definitely one of the weaker of the 1-drops in this matchup. You know, you're not going to get a wide board to buff it up because you'll just get blown up by winter warfare, so 15th Cav feels better here. Bicycle is almost always better, I think. Ooh. No, I think we do just lead with the Yokosuka. I think we don't obtain much by putting down the recon. I think our opponent just ignores it for now. Deep operation, okay. We're probably going to put down... Oh, okay, now let's go recon and 15th. And that means the blowout from like a winter warfare isn't quite as bad. It just gives us a little bit of value if we do get hit by a winter warfare. We can put down our 6th infantry, which is quite nice. Opponent just trading out on the board, fair enough. I think tokens is not a terrible matchup for us. I imagine they're going to want to put down and buff their tokens all in one turn next turn, but we can really blow them out with a lightning conquest with these 6th infantries. Okay. I'm tempted to just generate some draw here, but I think if we pop down a Ki-83 and pass, it's really strong. Holding back this because if we use lightning conquest, we can move it and operate it all in one turn anyway, so there's not much point to pushing it up other than just making it more vulnerable to being tokened, you know. And then we're just going to start smashing face. 6 damage every turn. They're on a 3-turn clock at the moment, and we can use stuff like Raiding Brigade to really slow down anything in the front line. Okay. Tempted to play the naval here, but I think that's bait, and we're just going to put down another 6th. We can go naval and lightning in one turn if the Ki-83 gets killed, but it doesn't actually increase the clock. It's still a 3-turn clock from Ki-83, even with the naval down. So that's why I didn't think it was value to play. Yeah, well, that's a great target for the raiding brigade. However, no, yeah, I think it's worth it. We'll raiding brigade this, and they can trade into that, and we'll hit face for 6. Maybe not the correct line, but my logic is this light infantry is going to die anyway when it trades into the Ki-83. And then we can just start dumping infantry on the board with the signal regiment as well. The chances are we're going to be able to burn out or blitz out with lightning conquest and just kill the opponent. the Alliance, the amount they're having to commit just to kill this Ki-83, it's a little bit ridiculous. So we have to give this 6 attack for it to be lethal instantly. Which... Or we can actually... Sorry, we can just half track Lightning, USAC, move up, hit face for 6. So that's GG. And so far, every game you've seen so far has been there's not been any games cut yet. We do occasionally cut games when they're just really dull games, and they're just really not enjoyable to watch. But so far, all the games, we've been quite lucky. They've been super enjoyable games. So you've gotten to see the raw deck so far, getting blown out by a Churchill, of course. Up against the Soviets again. A lot of Soviets today. I think I'm going to hold on to Audacity. I might just ship back. I think actually I'm going to keep Lightning in 6th. At which point do I want to hold on to Expansion? I don't think I do. Okay, not the best mulligan. I probably should have put back the 6th and Lightning. They're such late game powerhouses that it can really turn the game around. You do have to be careful to not buff it up before getting confusioned. Like, if you buff it pre-confusion and then your opponent takes it, they can just slam dunk you in one turn. I've been reversed OTK'd and things with it. Cuban Cossacks. Well, this is a beautiful Audacity. About as beautiful as you can ask for, really. And then I think we're just going to curve into the Ki-83. We can go for the Dina if it's preferable. Ooh. So now we can go USAC and Dina. And then we can just trade into that. Keep this Aichi under smokescreen, which means if there's a confusion, they can't kill the Aichi. They have to confusion the Aichi itself. Okay. I'm thinking just double trade into this. USAC to prevent the trade. And then draw last. Always draw last. The big brain plays over here. I will showing you how to draw last. You know, always draw first is the actual way to do things. My brain is just slow. It's the morning where I am. It's in the morning and I've not had enough tea yet, so my brain is still waking up a little bit. But that's if they don't have a guard that's lethal on board. That was cool. It was cool. An honorable fight, my friend. They will never surrender into the instant surrender. That makes me I love that. So I know some people think it's dumb, but that we will never surrender into surrendering. It makes me chuckle. Okay, I think we played against Vector already. I think they were tokens. I think they might have been tokens. In which case, we'll keep a bicycle, and I think we ship back everything else. And we can just go, we can go turn 1 bicycle. Ooh, no, this is artillery. I think we're just going to turn 1 bicycle, single buff. Because if they have the engineers, I don't want to get blown out by it too hard. Because they can put down the engineers, give this free attack, and then trade into the bicycle. And that's just slightly too much committal there. Like, I don't want to lose both USACs to getting blown out. This also might bait them into waking up the AA gun. Okay. Slightly punished for my route there. If I'd double USAC'd, it would have killed the Greyhound. However, I think we'll go for the second USAC now. Push up a Yokosuka and then double hit face. This means if they want to double trade You know, if they want to hit the Greyhound and the AA gun into the bicycle, we can then kill this AA gun easily. But yeah, slight punishment there for my route, and I think I'm just going to take out the AA gun. I probably should have played around the Greyhound instead of the Engineers, considering Greyhound is a standard, they're going to have 4 of them, Engineers is a special, they could only have 2 of them. So I should have been playing around the more likely card. However, very nice turn here. Able to go raiding, push up both of these, and then this naval supply run is going to be really quite powerful. We're going to be able to hit face for a lot less than we previously would have been able to, thanks to the Cuban Cossacks. Do we still want to stick with it? I think we do. I think we go for the naval because it's just going to give us so much more pressure. And that's really what this is about right now. It's trying to bring them back. I mean, they've got 7 cards in hand. They've got a whole bunch of artillery. We just need to swing through as quickly as possible. But it's not looking too good now. I think I got punished really heavily for my USAC line on turn 1. Not playing around Greyhound really came back to bite me there. However, half track now, going to be able to bounce this. And I think we're going to hold the naval so that we guarantee the half track next turn. Cost 6 credits to put down the guard again, and then we have guaranteed lethal. Nice. Luckily, half track's just taking our way to victory, even though the turn 1 error, the turn 1 blunder. Up against Germany by the looks of things. I'm gonna say, yeah, it's a German card back. Might be something a little bit more meta. I think I want to keep the expansion, and then I think we want to keep 2 1-drops better trigger it. We can ship back the half-track and the Unity for now. Okay, multiple USACs. We do have to be careful about going too far in on one unit due to things like sudden strikes and flampanzers, especially if we're not going to get the return value straight away. You sort of want to USAC as you attack. And yeah, try and spread it out across infantry, especially now route out isn't something to think about. Obviously, there are still other AoE cards, especially for Germany. They've got an, I think it's Maelstrom. It's an 8k one, but by the time they reach 8k, this game's going to be over in one direction or another. Either we've won or we've lost by turn 8. And they're taking their time, you know. Countermeasures are a very, very real possibility. I think we're going to lead with the recon. There you go, playing around the careless talk with the recon. And then next turn, okay, they're going for a war machine. And they could have a 5th Rangers, which makes me wonder if I think I'd go with the cavalry over the bicycle. And again, I just hold back these USACs until I'm going to get instant return value. Rado into... Okay. God, we're really getting punished for how we're using USACs today, but I do believe we are doing things correctly. It's just unfortunate, and we're just going to spam this front line. Try and make them spend as much of their turn trading as possible, and then we can just start return trading. But I do think we're taking the correct lines with the USACs. Maybe we should be using one more in scenarios like that. However, it still feels like it's generally the right way to do things. Draw middle. We're getting better. We're drawing middle instead of drawing NAS now. You know, it's a step up. Now the recon Assuming it doesn't get flam-panzered or sudden strike, it's going to be able to offer a fair amount of draw engine. Hour of Need. Okay. I think we're just going to beat down. Always draw in middle. This is what a lack of tea does to the brain. There's the Maelstrom. That's okay. We've got the signal, so we can get some return damage from that. And dare I say it, so long as the opponent doesn't have a second one, we're looking really quite good here. I think we hold back the bicycle because we can blitz that out. But next turn, we're going to better do a ludicrous amount of work, assuming at least one of these stays on board. ASW Patrol. Nice. So now we go Bicycle. Lightning Conquest. Unity. Countermeasures are a very, very real possibility. So I think we're going to spread out the buffs a bit. And what this allows us to do is just make sure... Is that? Nice. Lethal right there. Was thinking about future turns, wasn't even looking at the damage on board. Nice. Okay, up against Germany again. I think we're gonna ship back most of our hand. The USACE does feel weaker against Germany, same with the 99th, especially going on turn 2. Half tracks are only really good if they've got Italy ally, which we don't know at the moment. They could be just about anything. But I think we played against them earlier. I don't quite remember what they were on. I think we'll lead with the Yokosuka. And next turn we can potentially go 15th Cavalry and maybe we'll put... Ooh. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I think we're going to USACE just in case the 15th Cavalry dies. It means this Yokosuka can still trade into the Panzer 35T. Just a little bit of backup. Alright, that's okay. We'll go Dina and we'll just go for the value trade. Now these 33rd Recons and 15th Cavalries are just going to be able to swarm the board. We do have the 6th Infantry as well. Ooh. Ooh, this... I was thinking, you know, 15th Cav Recon into Unity, but this 99th does that for us. We just buff this. And then I think I'll trade away and put down the Recon. And just completely shut down our opponent's board. We're essentially playing whack-a-mole here. We kill these things as they come up. We don't let them get buffed up. We don't let our opponent suddenly take over the board with just an insane board state. I think we just keep playing whack-a-mole. Push up the Recon, that means they're less likely to want to trade. If we push up the Cavalry, they'll probably trade. But with the Recon, they're less likely to. Or they'll get a Schutzen. That's a great way of trading. But I think we're okay. I think we're happy. I think we are happy. I'm actually going to half-track that because I intend on having a unit with Unity buffed on it in the front line. So if we half-track it, they're not going to be able to revalue trade because we're going to push up a 6th. We're going to chuck some Unities on it, and it's going to be awkward for them. I mean, I'm happy if they push it to. I'm happy if they push it to the front line. It's fine by me. And then we're just going to double unity and make an 8-8 Fury in the front line. That's going to be... Oh, your move, my opponent. You've got to deal with that. Nice. Oh, this deck is so much fun. I actually enjoy this deck way too much. Up against Japan. Okay, I think we need a 1-drop to contest the front line, and I think we want to keep the Audacity. I'm really tempted to keep this half track, but I don't think I can. It's alright, we got another one anyway. Type 94. Okay, nice. I was going to say, I feel bad about bicycling here because that's such a good trade, Type 94 trading into bicycle, but this recon just gives us an alternative route. This Shinano could be really strong here. Oh, I wish I'd contested the front line more. No. Oh, that's unfortunate. I think we're going to hold on to the USAC. We'll go with the bicycle. Because the Yokosuka's better at trading into the front line once they've retaken it, because it could have 2 or 3 attack. Can trade quite nicely. And then the Akita comes out. We'll go with the expansion, and we're probably just going to... Oh. No, we'll drop a signal here. I was saying we were probably just going to drop the other 33rd recon, but I think the signal is better. Start burning down their HQ a bit. Means like Shinano and Audacity are real threats at sort of offering lethal later on into the game. Obviously the bomber instead of the actual ability from Audacity, since that only hits units. And this is where the half track comes in really nicely, and this is what I was thinking about keeping it for in the original opener. And then we're just going to put down the other recon, I think. It's just such a good way of answering a KI-83. Okay, that's alright. Another half track is quite a nice find. I'd like to get this Audacity going soon, or the 3rd expansion. It's so much card draw for them. We're going to go with the USAC here to keep the recon alive. It can get hit. Yeah, it could get hit again, but I think we'd be okay with that if that happens. And then I think we're just going to drop the 6th and pass the turn. I don't want to put down the Yokosuka cavalry because we can get blown out by an enemy Shinano, and with the amount of cards they've got, it's not too unrealistic. It also sort of might bait them to redeploy the KI-83, at which point we can play the half track and just really slow them down. There's the 4th expansion. I was like, I don't need to fight for the front line anymore because we've seen all the expansions. There's only one left, but our opponent really committed to the board here, which means we're going to be able to slap them with the Shinano. And, oh my lord, look at that. The death and destruction. And we'll go for our own expansion. And I think we'll hold back the other one and prioritize getting things into the front line. I know we can Lightning Conquest, but I kind of want to save this for when we're going to end the game on that turn. Ooh. Kokura's sword. Go for the expansion. Maybe we can find a bicycle. I think we're just going to go for the face damage here. Get them down to 3, and now this Signal Regiment is essentially offering lethal, or threatening lethal. These obviously both have 1 HP. And I believe it triggers off itself. Look at that. They have to try and deal with the huge unit in the front line. They can't even try and deal with the signal regiment. And we're getting close to Field Marshal, which I think is where the end of the video is going to be. We've managed so far to have a almost perfect run to Field Marshal. We've only actually dropped that one game. However, it is worth noting we are not exactly playing against meta decks. We're not exactly playing against OCC decks and things. So the win rate is going to be slightly inflated because we are playing against other weaker decks as well. Up against Germany, as we know, can be one of the weaker matchups. Oh, don't tempt me like that. No, we'll put back the USACE. We'll hold on to the expansion. Find a second expansion. Then we're just going to drop the recon to play around the careless talk. The reason this is so good against careless talk, of course, is if they have one, you just then get to draw a card off it straight away and sort of get the return value. Farman. That makes the 15th Cavalry far worse, so we're just going to push up and go for the expansion. We can go for the Audacity whenever we like. I think we're going to look for a USAC. Try and find a USAC to bring that down. Signal will do, and then we'll just hit it for 1. Potentially a misplay. I may have been better off just going for the Audacity. Okay. Yeah, that's a smart move from them. We can just hit them with the Audacity though. And then we'll go for the Yokosuka. Then we've got 2 things threatening this Heinkel, but that was... I hadn't thought about the Heinkel Blitz. The overdraw I'm less concerned about. There's not too much which threatens me here though, because having 3 HP, this means we can't get like sudden strike on the Aichi. It's more just a shame the sort of... Oh, that was a snap pick. I'm tempted to overdraw them here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for that. And then push up these units. The main advantage to overdrawing them over hitting is we get another unit on board and we get to keep this under smoke screen for things like Comet later in the game. Potentially it would have been better just to go for the trade, but I can't help but be a little bit sneaky with these half tracks. It's just my my natural inclination to try and be sneaky. Okay. 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 Here we go. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, it's so good. Alright, final boss up against Vlad. It's an opener. Tempted to hold the Unity. Put back the 6th. Oh. I mean, we've greeded out here, but if it pays off, we can really end this game quickly. We are going to go for the USAC here. Because we have been punished too many times by not going for it. Naval power, it's alright. We'll just go for the signal. Because I don't really want to show the 99th just yet. Nice. Now we can go 99th trade, and then we'll push up the bicycle. If they do have the supply shortage, we can go for the unity on the cavalry before it dies, and still do just a huge amount of damage. If they don't have it, oh, oh my lord. And that's Field Marshal. We've done it. There you go. That was one game dropped in the whole recording, which is way better performance than we expected. I expected like a 60% win rate at the most. That was insane. I do think the deck would be slightly weaker against more meta matchups and maybe more competitive players. But that was still, oh, that was so much fun. And you see what I mean by this hand dump. You really just, sometimes you dump your hand in the first couple turns and just end the game. However, we were less hand dumpy than I expected. I will say that, because sometimes we were trying to hold back resources and be careful. But even when you're holding back resources and trying to be careful, you do suddenly hand dump everything with like a lightning conquest and just end the game right there. But yeah, that was unbelievably enjoyable. At least it was for me. I hope you enjoyed it too. And be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below what sort of decks you want to see us play around with in the future. There's all sorts of decks out there, and I think we're more than happy to play around with comment suggestions. There's things like Mobilize, maybe something with Exile. They're sort of a little bit further out there, sort of tier 4 deck range where we can play more interesting things but still reach Field Marshal on them. And yeah, I will catch you guys next time, and cheerio.
Before you leave, make sure to take a look at our Discord server, a friendly hub where you can continue the fun after you watch our content by chatting with the Topdeckers team and the rest of the community. If you wish to take on a more special role, you can also check out our Patreon and enjoy the perks that come with helping us bring you the best content possible. See you in the next video!